Welcome back. My name is Dr. Lisa Baxter, and I'm your University of Georgia State Forage Extension Specialist. Today I want to talk to you about the on-farm BSM research trials that have been conducted over the last 3 summers thanks to funding provided by the Georgia Beef Cattle Commodity Commission. We know that strategically timed pyrethroid insecticide applications can reduce the adult BSM population and protect Bermudagrass through the most sensitive phase of regrowth. However, overuse of a single mode of action will eventually lead to resistance of BSM to the pyrethroids. The objectives were to evaluate 5 insecticides for BSM suppression, determine the best method for monitoring the BSM's activity, and use a grassroots approach to disseminate the results. This research was conducted in 14 South Georgia counties with the help of a hardworking and dedicated team of UGA county extension agents. Our first finding was that malathion may be an alternative. Of the 5 chemicals tested, pyrethroid and malathion most effectively reduced BSM populations. Unfortunately, none of the other insecticides that we tested were effective. Rotating between pyrethroid and malathion could effectively suppress BSM populations while slowing resistance to either chemical. However, I would like to point out that in 2019, we did see that timing was more critical with malathion. So we have ongoing work at the University of Georgia Tifton campus to help answer this question before we add malathion to our official recommendation. Our second conclusion was to use a sweep net to monitor for the BSM. In this study, we compared sticky card traps to sweep nets at different time points throughout the day. Our goal was just to determine a method for monitoring, but we actually learned a lot about the fly's behavior. We found more BSM in sweep net samples than on sticky cards, regardless of the time of day we sampled. The BSM was more active in the morning than in the afternoon time points. Ideally, we would sample earlier, but you cannot use a sweep net until the dew dries. Most of the BSM flies were found on sticky cards at 8 inches above the sole surface. So now we know that we need to apply insecticide low and with at least 20 gallons of water to help penetrate the canopy. In conclusion, we need to scout after the dew dries, but spray the insecticides before the dew lifts from the grass to help increase their effectiveness. Finally, we saw that on-farm research increased producer adoption. Although we don't have a way to measure this, we have observed that producer adoption has increased since starting on-farm research trials, especially in local areas around the participating counties. We've come a long way, but there's still a lot of work to be done. Our 3 goals going forward are to fine-tune spray recommendations, develop an IPM plan for pastures, and finally, investigate how BSM damage interacts with forage management, soil fertility, weed invasion, and disease pressure.